Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a walkthrough on my 2023 Bass Tracker Pro Team 190. Let's get to it. All right, so first let's talk about why I decided to go with the Tracker 190. The most popular one out there is the 175. It's just, I needed a little more space than what that gives. This is a foot longer than that, and then a step up from this one is the 195. This is the same length as the 195, but only as wide as the 175. Plus it offers the bigger motor. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll start in the back and we'll work our way through the outside of the boat and then go through the compartments, and I'll show you what this thing's got. All right, so here it is. Like I said, this is the 190. I wanted to go with the 190 because it is a foot longer. It gives me more deck space. It's a foot longer than the 175. It is more expensive, but it also has a bigger motor. They had the 195 as well, which, you know, is even more expensive than this. I wish I could have gotten that one because it's wider. Same length as this one, but that one will hold a even bigger. I think that one goes up to 150 horsepower. But definitely a nice looking boat. Go back here to the business end. I went with the 90 horse. This boat will hold up to 115 horsepower, and the 175's biggest motor is a 75 horse. And like I said, the 195 I think goes up to 150. This is the 45th anniversary 2023. So they put that emblem on there. You know, Bass Tracker is definitely a great boat for somebody on a budget. Still doesn't mean it's cheap, but it's cheaper than most. So a few things that I've done. This boat came with two Lowrance hook reveal 5s. I upgraded to the Elite FS9s, one here at the console and one on the deck. I did get the tournament package, by the way, which actually upgrades me to two sets of electronics, one on the console and one on the deck, and then a 24-volt trolling motor, which this is the 70-pound thrust Maximum, which is actually getting replaced next week, I think. My new one will be in. I'm actually putting the Ghost on this. I want something with spot lock and something a little more powerful. And the tournament package also comes with the trailer step like this, which actually is pretty handy, especially when you're loading the boat, getting off the water, climbing over the front, and having a place to step. But that's pretty much it on the outside. I mean, I think it's upgraded rims and the spare tires placed here with the tournament package. So let's jump on the boat and I'll show you what's inside. Okay, so let's start on the back deck here with the storage compartments. Each side, you see over there and right here, you've got storage. It's not huge. I think it fits 4 or 5. I think it's 3,600 size boxes. I just got a rope and stuff in this one. And then right here, that's the live well. It's a big live well in this boat. And you've got the separator in the middle. You can take that out. It's aerated. Some of the Bass Tracker, the lower Bass Tracker models, don't have aeration. It's just got the timer on it. And then this compartment here is my fuel tank and my battery compartment. And since I'm running a 24-volt trolling motor, I got 3 batteries. One's way up under there. I will say this. When I got this boat and I went to change out my electronics, I realized when I went to unhook the batteries before I worked on this, the battery way up under here, the lugs were not even tight on it, on the terminals at all. I pulled them off with my fingers. They came right off. So make sure you check that kind of stuff before you take the boat out anywhere. And then this compartment, like I said, is the same over there. I've just got some tools and stuff in here. So let's get up in the boat and look and see what else is up front. Okay, so here's the cockpit of the boat. You see the seats, driver and passenger side seat. These things are really comfortable, I'm telling you. I had this thing out on Harris a few weeks ago and really, really rough water. And this boat handled it well. The center seat is just really a storage compartment. And the cushion actually comes off. So you don't have to leave it on there. I'll leave it on most of the time, and I'll have it on. My grandson will be down in a few months, and I'll be taking him and his mom out. And inside this storage compartment, I've got it full of crap already. But this is where they put the charger as well. Mine's a 3-bank charger because I'm running the 24-volt trolling motor. All right, here's the console. The console on this thing is really set up nicely. I like the way it looks. And you see my Lowrance units that I put in. I'll tell you, I went with the 9-inch units because for me it's plenty big enough for this boat. But here's what's on the console. You have your bilge there, your nav light, and obviously your ignition, and then you have like an auxiliary switch here if you want to add something to the boat. This is where you would wire it to this switch, and then that's your live well. And it's got a horn, not that you need it. And then you have a power jack here, which it actually not only has the power jack, it comes with a plug that you can put in there and plug your phone in. And that's where you're supposed to put your phone, but my phone's a little too big for that. And then you got all your gauges and stuff. I'm going to talk about it throughout the video about a few downsides to the boat. There's not many, but one for me is legroom. Legroom for me is a problem with any boat. Most people, it probably wouldn't be an issue on this boat, but I'm 6'4", and when I sit in this boat, I cannot put my foot back here. I have my right foot off to the side over here. But like I said, every boat I've been on that's a bass boat like this, I've had that issue with. I've got a buddy who's got a Triton that's the same way. It's not, there's just not a lot of leg room for me, being a bigger guy. So we go from here. This right here is cool. This is more cup holders for one. There's a built-in light right here. It doesn't help a lot. I mean, it doesn't shine down into the compartments or anything, but if you're sitting here and it's dark and trying to tie something, it'll help. This is a built-in cooler. Okay, it's nice that they have the cooler, but because it's big, I'll say that it's really big and it holds a lot of stuff, but it does not hold ice well. There's no insulation to it. It's all metal, so the ice melts fairly quickly. The one time I did use it, I put 2 bags of ice in there and they were gone in a couple hours. What I am going to do is I've seen some videos. I'm going to pull these cup holders out and get a good look down in there. I'm going to do that today actually, and see if there's a way I can insulate it with some spray foam or something like that, just to help it out, because I like to have a cooler with drinks when I'm out on the boat, but I don't want to have a big cooler in here. And this, if I can get this to perform like it should, that'll be a big plus. All right, so now on to my favorite part of the boat is the front deck, and we're going to start with rod storage. First, let me say all the storage lockers in the front have locking handles on them, which is great. Rod lockers on each side, which for me, when I was looking for a boat, was a necessity. That was a number one for me, was a big deck and rod storage. Each one of these rod lockers holds 8 rods. You could probably put more in there. The downside to these rod lockers is in here you'll see the pipes where you slide your rods in. They're all angled going that way with the front of the boat, which I think, I understand for design purposes it had to be that way. The only problem is, especially in the top right one, when you put a rod in there and then you put the butt of it in the right hand side over here, the rod's bent pretty bad, and I do not like that, so I usually don't use that one. I did see a video on YouTube where a guy took that whole section out there and put one big pipe in there and modified it, and it seemed to help without with your rods not bending as much. So eventually I might do something like that, but for now this will do. And like I said, I love it. I love the fact that I have all that storage on both sides. You know, I can put rods on one side and, you know, whatever else on the other, or rods on both sides, which I have done. I've filled up both of these lockers already. Then you get to tackle storage. This compartment is humongous. If you look, it goes way up under there. I've got a throwable life jacket, weigh-in bag up in the front, out of the way. For whatever reason, they put the fire extinguisher here. I hate it. I'm going to move it, and I'm probably going to move it today, because that for me is all tackle storage. It's got dividers you can move around, which is cool. And then if you go back here, for whatever reason, they have more cup holders in here, which I've got scissors in, but tool storage compartment in here, back here for storage. So yeah, this compartment's huge, and I love it. I love the fact that it's so big. Another downside is the rod straps on the deck. They're just bungees. I will eventually change that. I'm not sure when, but or what I'm going to do, but I do not like those. Another thing with the newer tracker boats is the cleats that come on them. You go back just 2 years, and they had cleats that stayed up all the time. I had a buddy's boat who I go out with sometimes, and my rods are always getting hung up in them. I hate that. I love the fact that they had these cleats that lay down. Okay, so that's all the storage. We'll go up here to the front. We've got the recessed foot pedal tray, which is awesome. I'm glad that's there. Also 2 more cup holders up here. And then you have a little control panel here. It's where your trolling motor plugs in. You also have a tilt switch for your rear motor. If you're up here and you're running in heavy grass with the trolling motor, you don't want it to build up on your main motor, you can tilt it up. There's your light for the front. And then, like I said, this version, the tournament package, I guess I should say, came with the 70-pound thrust, Minn Kota Maxim, 24 volts. This one is a 52-inch shaft, which in my opinion is a little bit overkill for this. The front just doesn't stand that far off the water to where you need that long of a trolling motor. So the Lowrance I just bought is actually a 47 inches, which is plenty long enough for this boat. Alright guys, so that's it for the walkthrough. I do want to talk about a few of the specs of this boat and a few things that I know about it. It is a 19-foot long boat. It's the 175 is an 18-foot boat, and again, like I said, the 195 is also a 19-foot boat, but it's shorter, or it's wider rather than the 190 and the 175. With a 90 horsepower motor on this boat, I've reached speed, the top speed I've reached is 41. I'm hoping I can get a little more speed by changing the prop. And I know I've seen videos like this boat with the 115 horse. I think it reached top speed is 50, and that's with changing the prop that comes on it as well. So if anybody's got any suggestions for a prop for this boat, leave it in the comments. I'd appreciate it. Another thing I wanted to talk about too is when I was researching buying a boat, once I figured out what I was going to buy as far as brand, I needed to figure out which one. So I'm doing all the research I can, even watching YouTube videos of walkthroughs. There's tons of walkthrough videos for 175s and 195s. There's none for 190s. So that's why I wanted to put this together, because this is one of the less bought boats, I guess, because it's an in-between of the 175 and the 195. But so if you guys have questions about anything on the boat, leave it in the comments and I'll do my best to answer it. And again, thank you guys for watching. If you do me a favor, hit like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And until next time, guys, get out on the water and go get them.